What it do, beautiful people? My culture
That's,
comrades.
That's definitely the most boring intro.
Really? I was just about to. That's so weird you say that, because after I did my little intro, I was gonna say it was a banger. I kind of like it. I like
Oh, you
it.
like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
All right.
Yeah, a little undercover banger for you.
All right. Yeah. So I've been using OBS. So if you go back and you look at the streams that I've been doing, there were 2 test streams I did. I've been using OBS and giving it a try, seeing if I like it. Like it maybe a little bit. I like it a little bit, maybe a little bit more than this. So I think we're gonna make the switch because it's less laggy, and like right now, there's a lot of like slow lag, and that I'm in the same exact spot that I was streaming earlier. I think it's just StreamYard's capabilities aren't as good. So I don't know. We'll see.
I know. I can say this much on my end. Okay. On my end, it's definitely my internet. That's why it's so laggy. Hopefully, the people watching can't see it. Caden Reed. Yes, we are. Been using it for a while.
Yeah, Caden's been with me on the OBS streams. Okay. Yeah, joining every time. So I'm thankful to him, to Caden for jumping in and commenting a lot. And it helps out.
Yes, it does.
But today, so I got a couple things. I'd like to start with. So if you do want to become a supporter of the show, whether it's the podcast or the YouTube show, it doesn't matter which one. There's a link below. You can make small monthly donations of 99 cents. Come on, that's not breaking the bank, right? That's not breaking the bank.
Absolutely not.
99 cents. $4.99.
That's very reasonable pricing, and I feel like you guys are losing money if you don't invest in this. Honestly, I mean, if I could, I would, but I have $0 in the bank. But I would totally invest in something like that.
But it's just monthly donations of 99 cents, 199. No. 99 cents, $4.99 or $9.99 a month, and you get the show upgrade. Maybe get to some better internet. Who knows? It all goes towards the show. It doesn't go into someone's pocket. It goes towards making the show a better experience.
Every dime
experience.
Every dime for the next, at minimum, I would say 5 years. Everything we make off of this goes into it. You know what I'm saying? We're still working day jobs. That's how we pay our bills. That's how we get what we want. But if anything that comes from this show goes to this show, right? Because it's all about making improvement, making it better. And that's why we constantly tell you, please, for God's sake, get in the comment section, get in my DMs, get in our pages, talk to us, let us know what's going on. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. We're very level-headed people. We can take the criticism. Tell me I'm ugly. I don't care. Just talk to me. I want to hear your voice.
Yeah. Or see your clickers.
Yeah.
You're not really hearing their voices, but you're definitely seeing the clickies.
I was hoping you weren't gonna. I was hoping you weren't gonna point that out, but here we are. Appreciate you.
But I'm totally liking this. So I got a second, because Nicotina had said it to me earlier, or yesterday or something. He was like, "Oh, are you using a second monitor?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "But that's a good idea, because I have one. For my job, I use 2 monitors. You know what I mean? So I can do a lot of stuff at once." And I was like, "Why haven't I thought of that? Like bringing it down here."
Yeah, it's one of those things that like once you hear it, you're like, I should have known to do that. How did I miss that? It's one of those things.
Yeah. So now I'm doing that, but it's much easier to focus. So I recommend it. Got some stuff to talk about. Wow. Wow. What do you want to go with first?
Let's talk about Tom Holland. Let's start small, work big.
So Tom Holland shared a pretty ominous date, right? And and I dated it kind of like he did because he's from like England or wherever. They have it ass backwards to us. So so it's January 14th, 2021. And then it was a winky face. That was it. That was all that was there. Nothing else. So, spooky.
Okay. Yeah, here's the problem, right? I know for a fact he has quite a few projects coming up. That includes Spider-Man, Uncharted, and then there was also another movie I saw that I'm not really sure. I forget the name of it, but he has a couple of projects coming up. So if it's not Spider-Man,
it's called Cherry.
Cherry.
Yeah,
thank
Caden
you.
just said it's Cherry.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. So
yeah, so it's not going to be Cherry because, I mean, there's a trailer. I don't think maybe a follow up to it. Listen, I don't think it would be. I don't know if it would be for Cherry. It could be. Well, I don't know if there is a trailer out for Cherry yet. It might have been just pictures that I saw.
I'm not sure either. I think I saw a trailer, but I think the two prime candidates are Spider-Man and Uncharted. I'm hoping it's Spider-Man, worried it's going to be Uncharted because I don't really care about Uncharted.
I don't think there was any way that it's going to be Spider-Man.
I don't
think there's any way that it possibly could be. Simply due to the timing of it. It just doesn't seem right.
It does. It seems
however,
off.
They could throw us a complete curveball though, and maybe it's a. Remember Black Adam? Remember not the trailer that we got, but it was like promo art. Like it's like
look, I'll take that as a trailer.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
It could be something to do with the same movie, and maybe it's an announcement saying that Toby and Andrew are coming in.
That's true.
It could be anything. So
that was my next question. What else could it be outside of a trailer? And there's that confirmed casting, possibly confirmed villain or setting. There's a lot of possibilities as to what this could be.
Yeah, I think because he didn't say like, oh, a trailer is coming out on this date. He just put the date down and then dippied. So I think there might be a good chance that it is a trailer for Uncharted. I know that's a video, correct?
Yeah.
I remember Sony. I feel like Sony said they were going to showcase something for that movie, and then never did. But I don't know. I could be wrong about that too.
Well, no, because I've yet to see any trailers or anything of the sort. The only thing I've seen for Uncharted is just kind of promotion posters, things of that sort. So that's why I put it as like a top candidate, because I haven't seen a trailer for it yet. But I have recently seen some articles, some promo stuff. So that's what led me to believe it might be Uncharted.
Yeah, I feel like there's a good fan base for Uncharted. Oh, Caden said it too. So, okay, ready? So it was a clip, but maybe it is 3 or Uncharted, because Sony did promise a first look, like I said, in December, but we got nothing. See, I remember that. I remember someone saying that back then, but we got nothing. Maybe it is Spider-Man. Who knows? Because I remember we were supposed to see something, and then it just like never came, and I think they thought we forgot, but I sure didn't. I didn't.
They were hoping you forgot.
Yeah. But I think it could be. I think it's going to be cool, regardless of what it is. It's got Tom Holland in it, so I'm pretty down.
Yeah,
I'm down for whatever it is.
I'm not gonna go watch Uncharted. I'm good. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the game?
No, I haven't. But that nothing against the game itself. But I'm just not a video game movie kind of guy. I'm good. I've been disappointed way too many times in the past. I'm good. I'm gonna pass.
All right. So how do you feel about, like, we'll just with Marvel for right now. How do you feel about this?
That was crazy.
How do you feel about this whole thing?
Okay. All right. I was figuring you're gonna wait for this one. So
No,
So
I'd like to, because I'm pretty aggravated.
All right. Okay. So Marvel's under a lot of pressure. For anybody watching who doesn't know, Marvel's under a lot of pressure to retire the Punisher logo for God knows what. So the article I read stated that the backlash is coming now because of recent riots at Washington, D.C., with a bunch of Trump supporters crying their eyes out, and they were using said logo. Now, I've seen it on cops and like undercovers. A lot of times it's cops or like military. They use the logo because it's badass, you know, and they shoot AR-15s in the sky, yeehaws and shit, you know what I mean? So after that happened, the Warriors get on their keyboards. They start harassing Marvel. Oh my God, you need to get rid of this logo, even though this logo is older than all three of us combined. But no, let's get rid of it because of a couple of rednecks who decided to wear it one day. But I see everybody and their mother wearing Marvel shirts, so I'm not really understanding the problem. But that's just me.
All right, this is where I come in. I think that this is outrageous, right? And they're not just they're not just asking for the logo to be retired. They're asking for Frank Castle to be gone.
Stop playing with me. No.
Yeah.
It's a one-word answer. No, absolutely not. Are you out your mind? No, God, no. What?
And listen, that's like, all right, so say I was part of the Capitol riots, right? And I was wearing a Eminem shirt, like a Slim Shady Eminem shirt. Are you going to blame Eminem for my actions?
Probably.
Why'd
you pick him as an example?
Because he is very quick to like say something that he shouldn't. Like he's always been known to push the line, right? And he's been blamed for things that his fans have done before.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because he says that a lot in his music. That's why I asked you.
So if I was wearing an Eminem shirt, I broke into the Capitol, are you going to blame Eminem and then try to cancel culture him? Is that what we do now?
Yeah.
Is that what we do now?
Always been done. Always. But typically speaking, they attack products and things that people don't really care about. For example, cigarettes, right? When they went on this whole army reign, this declaration of war upon cigarette smokers with the bars and the restaurants and the whole nine, nobody cared because like cigarette smoke is gross, right? Like it's not that big a deal, whatever. Smokers, Crimea River, right? But now it's getting to the point that it's like they've ran out of things to complain about. So now we're going to like superheroes that are older than, me and you combined and trying to get them removed just because, once again, a couple of rednecks decided to wear it, even though everybody and their grandmother has one,
Right. I just, and you know what the sad thing is? It's not even just fair asking. It's like legit comic book writers, like are saying,
Imagine
like,
that.
They're saying like, oh, I think it's time to phase out the Punisher and his logo, due to everything that's come with it since then. And that's, I don't know. It's a story. It's a fictional character in a comic book who, yes, has done, and I agree, right? The Punisher doesn't always do the best thing. He doesn't always do, right? But it is just a story.
But
right? You cannot blame.
But what I don't understand, outside of he's wearing, the hillbillies were wearing the logo at the time. Outside of that, what does Punisher, the character, have to do with any of this? He's not a rioter. He doesn't do, I'm not understanding. He's not like a racist or like a sexist or something. He's just some dude out for vengeance. So I'm not really understanding like why they want the character. I guess I get the logo because there's a bunch of neo-Nazis using it. But like, what does the character, you see where I'm going with this? What does the character have to do? The Punisher stories. I mean, he has stories with people like Spider-Man and Thor. Like, how is that offensive? I don't understand. This guy in leather tights with some guns. I don't understand.
I don't think he's ever worn leather tights, sir.
you know what I mean. It looks like leather.
But yeah, I am very against the whole cancel culture. And check this out, right? where do we draw the line? Because today, and I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a Trump guy, right? He gets kicked off of Twitter, right? Right? Fairly so. He gets kicked off Twitter. Today, I saw that girl, Belle Delphine, post pictures of her with a penis inside of her on Twitter.
What?
And she can stay on Twitter though. Belle Delphine, she's like a
I know who she is. I know who she is.
Okay.
That's not what my point is. Like, yeah, that's not cool, right? But like, she's not.
But where is the line?
But she's not. She's not.
She
like
has millions of. She has millions of followers, and
I know.
And you know what she was portraying? The porn that she was doing, that she posted pictures of, is her getting kidnapped and raped. Why is that okay?
Well, okay.
And what?
Allow me to answer.
Where's the line? Where's the line? Is what I'm saying. I don't care that she did it. I don't. I don't care that Trump got kicked off of Twitter for what he did. I'm just saying, where do we as society draw the line?
I think it's I'm going to give you reasons for those two exact examples you just gave me. Belle Delphine's always been known as, like, as far as I've been like aware of her, she's always been like sexual about the shit she sells. Like, I saw this on the podcast I watched. They were talking about how she was selling her bathwater and these dudes were buying it. You know, she's always been that sort, right? So Twitter doesn't really bother her because she's like that. On the other hand,
there is a dick inside of her.
But
picture.
My point being,
that is
Twitter doesn't have people. Listen, Twitter does not have people just like scrolling through Twitter all day, every day. If the bot doesn't catch it, that shit's gonna go through. Donald Trump, on the other hand, was on national news because of this shit. You
can see his shaft in her coochie.
Did you say shaft?
It's not the whole thing. It's just the base, and half of it's inside of her. But like, what is going? I am just so confused on what is going on. And again, she's portraying an anime girl who looks very young, being kidnapped, tied up, and raped. Why is that okay? But literally, okay. I don't know where the line is anymore. I just don't, and it's very frustrating. Again, I don't care that Trump got kicked off Twitter. I don't. He probably should have, right? He's an absolute buffoon. I'm just saying, we as a culture need to figure out where our battles are, and we need to do a better job about picking, because canceling the Punisher over this is not right. He had nothing to do with it. Someone used a variation of his logo. Wasn't even the exact thing.
No, it's probably the same one like they use in the military. I guarantee it's not the same thing. You're right. Because every time I've seen it, like on a cop or like I said on military, it's not the exact logo. It is, but it isn't. You know, there's like differences. So I know what you mean by that. And it's just
they'll get hit with a copyright.
Exactly. If they're running around. But at the same time, it's like, even if they were using the exact logo, I don't think Marvel would bother them because it's the military, it's cops. It's supposed to be like a good thing, right? Like, comics have never been in general hateful or spiteful. There's never been ill intention in superheroes. It's always meant to entertain and maybe make you think a little bit. So I'm not really understanding like how people can take things that were designed and created to bring joy and entertainment and try to flip it on its head and like try to make up some reason that it's like harmful or like it has some kind of bias or something, you know? And I really don't like people really have like the really best imagination on the planet to just be able to stretch and mold these stories into the way that, you know what I mean? To make like take something like SpongeBob and turn it into some controversial statement, you know, some way, somehow.
Yeah, they craft a narrative and then they throw that narrative on you, and they expect that, they expect that if you don't handle it the way you're like the way they think you're supposed to, then you're you're not you're transphobic, or you're like, they'll call you whatever name that they're, you know, whatever their politically correct group is, they'll say that you have a phobia of them, or whatever. And listen, I'm all for equality. I'm all for everyone having the same rights. I'm all for everyone being happy, living the life that they want to live. However, you cannot blame someone or something for the actions of a few bad apples. And you cannot cancel anybody, or you can't cancel a comic book and its logo. And I mean, when you think of the Punisher, what do you think of? You think of that logo. When you think of that logo, you think of the Punisher. To get rid of that changes the character completely. Or not completely, but I mean, it will take something away from the character. And just to do that all because of this, it just aggravates me.
Well,
because if we don't stand up, if we don't stand up for this now, it's just going to be done to us again and again and again and again. Pretty soon, Captain America wearing red, white, and blue is not acceptable because America is not a great country, right? That's what we're going to get.
And Marvel's been on this wave lately of just bad, right? Like the most recent of it I saw, and I keep it real with you, I can't even remember the name of these characters because it was so garbage and just trash. They've been on this wave of, because I really have a vague memory of these characters, I'm not even going to get into them specifically. Just understand that they've been on this wave of pandering as of late, and they're trying to appeal to all groups. And rather than just kind of remaining where they were, now they're kind of backing up all of the stuff he's been talking about, the type of people he's been talking about, which we would refer to as social justice warriors, right? The keyboard clan, whatever you want to call them, right? So Marvel is like, they're leaning into that, right? Whereas like DC, for example, DC just kind of kept their mouth shut and didn't get involved, right? They just kind of kept doing their thing the way they've been doing it, knowing they're not doing anything wrong. Marvel, on the other hand, played right into their hands, and now they're pandering to everything they do. And the characters that have come out of it are just lackluster is not the word. They're just straight bad. You know, they're just horrible additions. And I'm guessing that's what these people are aiming for, is characters like that. But I promise you, there is no lasting power in what they've currently been just giving us. It's terrible.
I think the last like good character was Miss Marvel to come out.
Of
the
Marvel?
Pakistani of Marvel, the Pakistani girl.
No, so Miss Marvel, but they since her, like they're doing the King in Black run right now, and it's kind of explaining where symbiotes are coming from, well, where they came from, rather, about Venom's planet, and his name is Null, and he created all the symbiotes. He's like a god of some sort. He's a really cool character, and this is one of their current runs they're doing. So, like, yeah, they got good stuff going on, like classic Marvel. But on the other hand, it's that pandering side I talked about, that where it's like they're just kind of doing it just cause, you know?
Yeah. I feel like Marvel on the comic side, like I've always liked the DC comic books a lot more, as far as like storyline depth, stories that intrigue me or make me think. Marvel's always just been like one page, a couple lines on each page, and you kind of just skim through the whole thing. I've never really like Marvel comics. They were not always for me. I liked the characters that were in there, and I would read them here and there, but I was mostly a DC guy as far as like reading goes.
Absolutely.
I think the books are just a lot better on the DC side of things.
I agree. I've always been, that's why I've always been so upset. I see that transition. I'm sorry I ruined it because it was pretty smooth. My bad.
Okay. It was.
But I agree. I just wanted to agree with you because I also like DC a lot more than I like Marvel, with the exception of Spider-Man and Deadpool. All my favorite heroes come from DC, right? So when I see them crash and burn in the movie section here, you see me trying to save you with this transition here. So seeing them crash and burn in the film department is very disappointing for me. But we have the what's the word I'm looking for? Elusive, legendary at this point, mythical Snyder Cut coming in March. And we got some big news about that. What was that news like, Jizzle?
Harry Lennox. Now, this is something that we all kind of knew already, because Zach shared it. But Harry Lennox, in a recent interview, confirmed that he is in fact Martian Manhunter in the Snyder Cut, and he has shot the appropriate scenes, and they will end up in the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. Again, we all did know this. Zach had shared the storyboards and stuff like that, and he had said who was Martian Manhunter but it was never confirmed. So now it is confirmed by Harry himself in a recent interview. And I'm super excited because Martian Manhunter doesn't get a lot of love, at least the live action side of things. He's been in things like Supergirl, but Supergirl is a pretty atrocious show. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, how dare you disrespect the Manhunter like that? But in all other media, he's very well respected. He gets the respect he deserves. Animation, video games, comics. He gets the respect he deserves. So hopefully Zach does him right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think Harry Lennox also bring I don't know, it kind of fit perfectly. I think Harry Lennox and Martian Manhunter, and I just think it's gonna gel the right way. And if you get nothing else out of this film, Justice, for you specifically, if you get nothing else out of this series, I like him because I don't know, he the way he portrays even just Swanwick, it has that Martian Manhunter quality, very monotone, downness kind of guy. So I have faith that that Harry is gonna murder it. I really do.
I agree. I agree. My concern is how Manhunter himself looks, because if they approach it correctly, when it's just League members, he's gonna be Martian Manhunter. He won't be in that human form, right? So if that's constant every time he's on screen, CGI. And we've seen how that looked in the past with Steppenwolf and Doomsday and all these trash CGI we've seen in DC in recent years. I'm worried Justice League is going to be no exception, and that Martian Manhunter is going to look horrible, and Steppenwolf probably is also still going to look horrible.
No.
It was
You're
never
out of your mind, bro.
Listen, it was never the design. It was never the design of Steppenwolf that was the problem. It was the CGI. The CGI was trash. It looked like a PlayStation 2 loading screen. It was terrible. His design was fine. It was they didn't understand that when everybody was complaining. That's not why we were mad. We were mad because the CGI looks awful.
No, I think the new design for Steppenwolf was always the one that was supposed to be. I mean, DC didn't want the Zach's original design simply because it was too murdery looking, it was scary looking. So I'm happy that he's going to be able to bring his. I mean, but if you go look at the trailer and then that shot of Desaad, even just that shot of Desaad, I think looks better than most of Wonder Woman CGI. Wonder Woman, the original one, when they had Ares as a full CGI villain, I was very upset with that. I was.
Yeah.
Because people complain.
Because we had an excellent movie 2/3 of the way, and then bam, that happens, and it just went straight down the toilet.
Yeah. I mean,
CGI
CGI is very mid-break, right? Your CGI, if it's beautiful, even if you don't have the best story, you might even have a shot. If you have a really good story and your CGI is terrible, the ship is sinking. Simply due to that fact. We've seen it in we saw it in His Dark Materials. People loved the first season. However, the budget didn't always allow them to do what they needed to do. And people were complaining about that. Oh, well, why isn't the demon, if your demon is part of your soul and you always have to have that demon in a certain distance of you, how come this guy's walking around with no demon half the time? Well, it's they didn't have enough money to create that thing all time. CGI is expensive.
Yes,
so they tried to trick you a little bit. do
Yeah,
angles
yeah,
that you couldn't really see the, you
yeah.
know.
But I respect that.
But
At least you're trying instead of just giving us
yeah,
poor, low quality nonsense. Try to do some, get creative with it. Do some different camera angles. Make up some, be clever. Don't just give us nonsense. That's shit. I'd rather that.
do you know who this is? Is he talking about
Oh
Doomsday?
no, he's talking about Steppenwolf.
Spiky boy.
Yeah, it's Snyder Steppenwolf. He looks like
Snyder Steppenwolf is Spiky boy.
he looks like a find the hay in the needle stack, right? That's what he looks like with a face.
I love Zach's new design for Steppenwolf. I think it's awesome. What else was I going to talk about today?
I
forget.
1, 2, 3. There was one more, but that was the one I told you I didn't see yet, and I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Huh?
Are you
wait.
While I remember? No. While I remember.
You got my phone. Who? Do you like that shot?
Oh, WandaVision. I remember it. WandaVision.
No, there was one more. You did say that to me, but there was one more after that. I want to get this. Right. I'm so excited. Oh, it is. What is it? The 15th, right, for WandaVision?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Willow
right.
Director.
Yes, there it is. Willow. Yes.
Willow Director. So the director for Willow will be, I think, Disney Plus. Right?
I'm not sure.
Disney Plus?
I'm not sure. I don't even know what this is.
Let me get the article here.
Willow.
This movie, because it's a movie. It was originally Willow was a 1988 fantasy adventure. It was like a cult classic. I mean, a cult favorite or something like that. It's about like wee little midges.
What?
And
what?
It's about like
wee little
midges. Midges.
What's a midges? What is that? You just said that like I would know what that is. I guarantee
he's a midgie.
What's a midgie?
He's a midgie. He's a midge. They don't like that word.
They're like a Pokemon or something. I don't know what a midgie is.
Yeah, but Willow, it is definitely a Disney Plus thing. So they had a director lined up.
Disney Plus series.
Yeah. Disney Plus Willow. They had a director, but the director had to back out recently, as of now, due to schedule conflictions. So a new director has not been named yet, and they'll go and they'll try to work on finding one, because John Chu was supposed to be directing it and leading the series. However, due to schedule conflictions, he is not going to be able to do the series. When they say schedule confliction, sometimes that means like creative differences as well, though. So we don't really know what the story is as of now.
Oh, geez.
But
midgets, is that what you meant? Midget? Okay, I'm aware. Okay,
yeah, I was saying midges.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. That wasn't a joke. I was being serious. I had no idea what you meant.
They don't like that word, midget. So I say midgies.
So
midgies. How could you ever be mad when I say midgie?
What? No, that's right. That's fair, because that doesn't sound like, it just sounds silly, Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a dude that played from the original. He played the Leprechaun, right? Remember those horror movies? Leprechaun, Back to the Hood. He went to like Harlem and he murdered a bunch of black people in the projects. Remember that?
I know the movie. I don't. Did he really? Did he really play the Leprechaun?
Yeah, that's him. I'm pretty sure. Either he was the Leprechaun or he he was R2D2. I'm not sure, but I've seen him before. I know this actor. He's from like Ireland or something. I can't say his name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
He definitely, his name's Warwick Davis.
Yes, there we go. Okay, so it's not that hard to pronounce. But
let's see.
Yeah, no, he was the Leprechaun.
Let's see if what he's. Wow, he was the Leprechaun.
It was the Leprechaun, right? Yeah.
Jedi.
He was
in Return of the Jedi.
As
Harry
R2,
Potter.
Right?
Because he probably fit in the little fucking thing. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, the costume.
Absolutely.
That's why. Yeah, that's why. That's exactly what they did. They found a dude who was ridiculously tall for Chewbacca, and then they found a midget for R2. That's exactly
a midgie.
A midgie. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna.
It's a midgie. But apparently, this new Willow is going to be a continuation, not a reboot. So I've heard.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm not familiar with the first story, so I couldn't comment.
I've never seen Willow in my life. And I really don't think I want to. I don't want to start.
Oh,
I don't think I'm gonna.
Caden said John Chu stepped away because he's having a baby.
I saw, but I haven't been able to. What I read was schedule conflictions, and I haven't confirmed anything else. So I'm gonna keep it at schedule conflictions, because I don't personally, I can't back that statement up. So,
sure.
I don't want to say anything. I know that he's going to be out
101.
as yes.
What's that? What's that? The thing that it's an award for writers, not the Mark Twain, but there's another one. And Lois Lane says
Pulitzer?
it. Yeah. I'm a
Pulitzer.
I'm a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. Let me get out there. You remember that from your precious Steel movie?
Yeah. Of course, I like when she's I like when they have the little exchange out. So she comes in and she asks Perry, "Oh, can I go? I need to go here to investigate." When she's going to investigate the bullet, and she's like, "Oh, I need a plane to DC." And he's like, "All right, you got it." And then she's like, "All right." He's like, "No extra leg room." And she's like, "All right, economy plus." And he's like, "No extra leg room." And I was that little that scene. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
It's shut up. Dude, you like Christopher Reeve Superman, so shut up.
No, I don't actually. I quite frankly, I don't really like any of the Superman movies. I now that I think about it, I'm not gonna sit here in front. I've never seen Christopher Reeves outside of like clips and shorts and bits and stuff, so I'm not really sure. I feel like if any of them I would like, it's probably that one, because at least he's like nice, at least he's a nice person. Henry Cavill's Superman, he's just a dick. He's so mean.
No, he's not.
He doesn't seem friendly. If you saw
reasoning.
Wait. Let me ask you: if you saw Henry Cavill's Superman, would you feel safe to go up and be like, "Hey, Superman, hi, can we have a conversation?" Because I wouldn't.
I would.
He's not very nice in that movie.
Yeah, I would. I'd be like, "Yo, what up, Soups? What's good?"
Yeah, he's gonna shoot a laser beam through your skull.
No, that's not. I think you haven't I just think that you think that Superman's this like permanently happy person who walks around smiling all day, he wears blue underwear and walks around with a red cape. I mean, that's not always Superman.
No, but at bare minimum, he has to seem nice to talk to, right? Superman at bare minimum needs to be friendly.
What do you mean?
Isn't that fair?
Justice League friendly. Justice League, right at the beginning.
He tried. It came out bad, but he tried. At least he tried.
Terrible.
In all actuality, I mean, if Snyder's is worse than Whedon's, we're in a rough patch. And that's really where most of my hope for that movie comes from, is the fact that, Whedon was awful. It was just like baffling how bad this movie was. So I don't think Snyder could possibly make me more sick than Whedon already has. So that's my main light of hope that I'm clinging on to here.
Yeah.
Until March.
See, okay. Here's the thing. I'm okay with canceling Joss Whedon for the way he acted, or for the way that he's being accused.
All right, so but
acting.
Why do we use cancel? Fire. He loses his job, right? Like he shouldn't be able to direct anymore. That's called firing somebody, right? Like I would much prefer if that was the wording they used, because it's
me too.
It just doesn't.
However, I was just making it like tie back in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like cancel culture at all. I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like them trying to cancel Gina Carano because she happens to believe some stupid stuff. Like, hey, listen, being an idiot isn't illegal. Just because you think that vaccines aren't legitimate and that the election might have been rigged. Listen, it doesn't affect you though. It doesn't affect you.
But
it doesn't affect you.
Wait. Okay, all right, fine. But just because it doesn't affect me, those people are anti-vaxxers are a real problem. Let's be real.
Right, but they can't. It's you cannot fire somebody because they think something's stupid.
Fair enough.
You don't
fire.
Enough. You don't Fair just enough. Because someone says, "Hey, the world is flat." You're not like, "All right, it's time to get rid of this idiot." I mean, you might think.
Here's the thing,
you might think it, but you can't do that.
Yeah. All right. Here's the thing, right? When you step into the world of entertainment, especially on the internet, it's different. If they catch you with clips or a tweet or something, whatever that they can get rid of you for, they're gonna try. And sometimes it makes sense. Other times you're really stretching the truth here. But we're not inherently bad people, so we're good. Like throughout our internet history, I think about that a lot. Like it seems like a lot of times it's just genuine mistake, right? Like they're trying to be creative often, a lot, right? And it gets to be a lot. It gets stress on the mind, so they start thinking out the box, and then they end up doing something that's like accidentally racist, right? Or like it's kind of sexist, or it's not that nice, and it happened 12 years ago, and now it's getting brought up today because people dug up some clips of them doing something crazy. You know what I mean? And it just terrifies me that we would get caught up in something like that.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I hope not, right? I hope that's not. I don't think that would ever be the case for us. No. I was even a little upset that I said I love Trump by like the way I said it, right? I was going back into when I was editing it, I was looking at it and I was like, I really don't like how I said that. Even though I explained myself like that, I do not like him as a politician. I think I don't even like him as a human being, as an entertainer. The guy knows what he's doing, and he knows how to pump people up, and he knows how to lie, and he knows how to lie very well. Even you might think like, oh, that's an obvious lie, but millions of people believe him somehow. Like it takes manipulation skills to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's the greatest hype man on the planet. Honestly, if you had him in your corner right before a big boxing match, you're gonna win that fight. You know what I mean? That's a coach. If I've ever seen one.
Oh man,
I only wish I could hype up my own game. Honestly, we should be taking notes from him, because that's a skill we could use. If you could really hype up your own product that as hard as he does, and that makes if you keep saying it enough, these people are gonna believe it eventually, right? So I think that's his strategy, right? Like he just talks the best game he possibly can, and it worked.
Yeah. So did you like the new studio set?
Our studio set? Yeah. On
the most recent episode, I thought it came out very clean, very nice looking.
Yeah, it did.
And
trying to upgrade the studio at all times. Like we told you at the beginning, everything goes to improvements, even if it comes out of our own pockets.
Yeah, and that's the next step. You know, getting a couple shelves maybe that go behind here and hang up. I thought it looked really clean and good, and I'm very happy with how it came out. So that'll be like the normal for the now on, instead of, because you know, the problem with having a picture. Okay, let's do this real. I'm going to show you something. So the problem with doing what we were doing, or what I was doing, because it wasn't really you, it was me. So when you're constantly changing backgrounds, right, like this, you're always changing the light behind you, or you're changing how the scene should look, right? You're changing how the light should hit your eyes. You're changing what brightness you should be at, what contrast you should be at, right? And the problem with it is the editing software was working way too hard to keep up. And it was working too hard trying to maintain multiple different backgrounds. The editing software was working twice as hard. So now when you just use the one, it adjusts to it, and it's able to focus on that one background the whole time, and it's always nice and clear, rather than when you're always changing and you're always adjusting. Like the lights that are hitting me right now match, or they're supposed to. I didn't do it like I didn't 1,000% match it up with the background right now. But usually what I do is I'll match the background with the light in front of me. That's how you're supposed to do it. But when you're constantly changing backgrounds, that light that you've now made to adjust to your face, it's wrong after the first picture changes, right? You move on to the second picture, maybe that light's supposed to be over here rather than here. So it's just a better way to do it. And that's editing 101 for you. Yeah, editing 101.
Welcome to my course, kids.
Welcome to the course. It's all free. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel.
Oh, look at that. Shameless plug.
Become a monthly subscriber. Monthly supporter is what I meant. And we're also raising money for my mother's breast cancer, which has been a topic of discussion as of lately at my household. But that's another story for another day. My father does not understand how donations work. He's like, we don't want any help. I was like, what? We don't need any help, you. I was like, but it's not about like what you want. It's about what I want to do for her. Yeah. So kick rocks.
And I mean,
get out of here.
You definitely need the help, yo. It's not cheap, you know. We're talking the deep stages of cancer, people, right? It's fair to assume that somebody, if not yourself or somebody in the family, somebody you know, whatever the case may be, had cancer or were just ill in general. And you understand that these bills add up quickly, and a lot of times they get sicker and sicker rapidly. So this donation is really in just to help her with costs that never end when you're sick like that. And we just hope you consider, it doesn't matter whatever it is, $1.25, 50 cents, $1.75, $1.39, doesn't matter. Or if you just spread the message on your social media, put it on your Twitter, put it on your Facebook, whatever, that holds its own weight. So please consider us.
Yeah. Are you happy to do this interview tomorrow?
I am. Make sure you guys check that out. That was smooth. That was a smooth transition. That was smooth. Good job.
Thanks.
Bravo.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it. Did I tell you I was on the news today?
Yeah, you did tell me. You didn't tell me why though. You just said that you were on the news with
unemployment
because dog.
No, it's my dog. Clearly, he's my dog.
No, he just lives with me. My dog.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I paid for him. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
But the whole unemployment situation, they haven't paid me in 4 or 5 weeks now. Really? And you can't get in touch with them. You call and it just says, sorry, we have too many calls, and it hangs up on you.
Imagine that. Crazy. Imagine
and it's like, what if I wanted to wait in line? Like, what if I didn't care how long it was going to be?
Yeah.
So remember when I was on the set of that film, I made that news friend, and they put us on that day.
Yeah.
Well, I called her I called her a couple nights ago, and I was like, hey, listen, like, this is my situation. Is there anything you can do to help me? Like, at least raise awareness. And she was like, are you willing to go on camera? And I was like, well, I do it all the time. So whatever, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, Timothy, whatever his name is, from Channel 5 is at my house. We're doing an interview in the house. And they were like, oh, we're going to do an establishing shot. So an establishing shot is when you're doing your introduction for whatever you'll be talking about. You know, like those shots that don't have any audio from the person. It's just like, it's me walking by. So it was me and Logan walking.
That's so funny.
And it was cute. Yeah, it was cute.
That's funny.
They were like, we're going to do an establishing shot. And I was like, oh, can Logan? They're like, yeah. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Did you have like any creative freedom? Like my intro shot would have been me like crumping down the street, right? Going crazy, music blasting, lowriders pumping, you know, the whole 9 confetti shot in the air.
I want to tell you one last thing about it. This is why I brought it up.
All right.
So he had asked me, he was like, oh, you worked with Mary over at the film set, right? And I was like, well, worked with is a stretch because I was doing my own thing for my show. And then we got to talking about this. And he was like, oh, keep my number because there's a couple movies shooting this summer and you guys can come on in or come with me and we can work together on it.
Nice.
So we're going to work with Channel 5 News this summer.
Okay, keep your eyes open for that. Talking about some straight heat coming over the summer. Yeah. I think we're going to be the reason the snow melts before May. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. We're bringing straight heat your way, baby. I like that.
I was a little dumbfounded when he said it. He's like, "Oh, we should work together on these 2 films that are happening over the summer." And I was just like, "All right, keep my number in your phone, and I'll keep yours."
Yeah.
And
we stay on top of it. We still don't know if did we ever get an answer about Kenobi? Remember it said we saw it saying it said
no one wants Boston, to answer London. That question.
I don't understand. If nobody knows when Kenobi was announced that they would be doing some shooting, it said Boston, London. Boston,
London.
So we never knew if they meant Boston and also London, or Boston is like an area within London. And nobody ever answered us.
The thing is there is a Boston in London.
Exactly.
There's an area called Boston.
And I think that's what it is.
So it's a very
what Star Wars do you see getting shot around here? You know?
I don't know. I mean, it's a stretch, but it could, like, you never know. I guess you can't 100% say no, it's not Boston, because Boston is becoming more popular. And say that there's a lot of woods. There is a lot of woods around here, like deep, cold woods, right? So if they were looking for something like that, then you could find that around here.
True. Yeah, up in New England. I mean, I would recommend going a little more north and going towards like New Hampshire or Vermont or something. But yeah, you're right. This is New England. We have some very thick wilderness and woods, and it's just the only reason I'm skeptical is because it's a Star Wars show. That's the only reason. If it was something, if you told me it was like John Wick Part 4, I would have no denial. I'd be like, oh, that's cool. All right, that
makes sense, right?
Yeah,
it makes sense because like action films, that's not a stretch to say that would be filmed here.
Exactly.
It's a little different when it's like, this crazy Obi-Wan like space movie. It's like, that's opera. Not Boston.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen Boston?
This
doesn't look like anywhere. this doesn't look like
exactly.
But I guess we shall see. Imagine that was one of the movies that we got to work on with him, or one of the series, I should say.
Forget about it. Forget about it. I love that.
That'd
love
be
that.
dope.
I've been on camera stated that I don't really care for Star Wars movies, but Kenobi has always by far been one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character. He seemed to be the only one with any kind of real depth to him, you know, any real character or even character arc. You know, Anakin, yeah, he had one, but it wasn't very good. You know, I like Kenobi a lot, though, in the story he went through.
Yeah. So, I mean, that'd be really cool, right? That'd be cool to do a Star Wars thing. But so what our plan is for WandaVision.
I'm so excited.
I figure the thing is, so we have to come up with something, because I usually would do TV Corner on Mondays. However, the episodes are going to be coming out on Fridays, and we cannot wait 3 days to do a review.
No, God, no. I think best bet is night of, right? We plan it like any other day. Right. I come to the studio before it starts, and we watch, and we hop on camera.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to have to be how it is, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but it's worth it, and I'm so excited for the show. I can't wait. I've been waiting a while for this.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be a good time. So do you have anything else that you'd like to speak on?
No, but I'm happy with what came out of it. Thank you for everybody who is watching or did watch. We appreciate you. Please consider
or will watch.
Or will watch future. I almost forgot that one. Thank you.
Most of them come afterwards. That's okay.
That's true. Please consider.
We don't have a live. We don't have the live. We don't have a live audience yet.
Not yet, but we're working on it. We'll get it eventually with your help. We appreciate you because we do it for you. We do it for the culture.
And we do it for the culture. Ugh. This has been Boston's favorite pop culture YouTube show.
I think we're the only
See you
one,
next
right?
time.